Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Angelle campus of University of Louisiana at Lafayette. To live here on the night, Wednesday, February 3rd. This group is JAZZ Ensemble. My name is Ben Patterson. I'm the director of this group. About starts is 9. And why don't we just get right into the music? We're going to begin with a piece from the Woody Herman book by LaBarbera, and this is called Toothless Grin. Thanks. That was Toothless Grin by LaBarbera from the Woody Herman book. And let's see, we heard David Lee on tenor saxophone. And we heard Jacob Rhymes on piano. On the bass was Fox Swatch from New York. Was that everybody? I think I got everybody on that one. All right. Well, folks, we actually had this concert prepared back in November. We were foolish enough to, should I be facing somewhere else? I'm good there, okay. We were foolish enough to plan a concert on Friday the 13th of November. And sure enough, we had bad luck. We were ready to go. It was Tuesday, 3 days before, and COVID counts ticked up here in Lafayette and on campus, and we were forced to shut down. In fact, in music, we had to cease all operations. And we hadn't played for 2 solid months, starting on November 13th, and it wasn't until January 16th when we came back. But we had this program ready. And we were going to play it for an audience of 200 people. Tonight, we've got about 11, which is twice as many as at a recital I once did in Walla Walla. So that's a good audience. We grow. We're not able to have a live audience these days, but thanks to KRVS and our engineers and our hall staff, we're trying something new. And it is brand new to us, and we know well how to put on concerts anywhere in the state, but we've never done one this way before, so hopefully it's all reaching you, and the sound is good, and the look is good. So, 2 months ago, back in 2020, that was the centennial year for 2 incredibly important jazz musicians, Charlie Parker and Dave Brubeck. And we wanted to pay tribute to them during their centennial year of their birth, even though they're both gone from us. Now their influence lives on. So on this concert, we're calling a do-over. We didn't get a chance to play this piece by Dave Brubeck back in 2020, so we're just going to extend the centennial. And I'm glad we did that because I wrote to the foundation, the Brubeck Foundation. We even heard from members of the Brubeck family. And Tish Brubeck, if you're able to see this now, we're glad you're checking in, or if you see it from one of the recorded versions. We're going to do Dave Brubeck's Blue Rondo a la Turk. We're going to feature a freshman in the band on alto saxophone, Tim Smith. This is pretty faithful to Dave's arrangement. It's got a few tweaks in it, but this arrangement's been done by Kris Berg, who runs the Metroplexity Big Band up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I think you're going to enjoy this. You're probably going to recognize it. Blue Rondo a la Turk by Dave Brubeck. we put two side by side there, and then after Blue Rondo a la Turk by Dave Brubeck, which had Tim Smith on the alto, we went right into a tune by a writer named Alan Baylock, and we did his composition called El Abrazo, which means the embrace. He runs the 1 o'clock lab band at UNT, University of North Texas, one of the most famous, if not the most famous college jazz bands and jazz programs in the country. And there was a time when he was director of the Air Force Airmen of Note, and he runs his own band, and he has a connection with the writer of our next piece, Ben Patterson. Is that the one that's up next? Yes. We're going to do a piece called To the, looks like To the Top when you look at the program, but it's not top, it's T-O-P, To the T-O-P. If you happen to own one of the two Tower Power albums that just list T.O.P., then you understand that this is a tribute piece that Ben Patterson wrote. Well, he went to the University of North Texas. He was in the Airmen of Note. After Alan Baylock was the director, Ben Patterson was the director of the Airmen of Note. And he was there at the time when one of our own faculty members was playing in there. Our jazz saxophone and clarinet teacher was Lucas Muntz. He played in that group along with Ben, and now Ben is out and doing his own band. I met him at the last time I heard live jazz was at the Jazz Educators Network, a convention in New Orleans back in January of 2020, just before everything hit. And he played this for me in the headphones. I was sold immediately. I didn't know how hard it was until we started trying to churn our way through it. And maybe these guys are going to make it sound easy, but it's really difficult. It's very intricate and very precise. And there's no way in heaven that it should work in this ridiculous setup. Anybody who's ever seen a jazz band before knows that this is not how you set up a jazz band. But this is how you set up a jazz band in times of COVID. We have to keep 8 feet between us. We need to use the masks. We've got to use bell covers. I probably forgot to put that on during the last tune. So let's hope we are 6 feet apart. Oh, but you know what? That wasn't 15 minutes. You're still okay. I get to take it off when I'm eating, drinking, or talking to the camera. Otherwise, we wear masks all the time on campus, and it's working. We haven't had any transmission in rehearsals, so we found a way to keep the wind ensemble going, keep the jazz ensemble going. But trying to do it this spread out is an extra challenge, and I guess the most challenging of all will be this next one. We're going to play To the Top. Who's on this one? Andrew Wayne's got a solo on guitar. You two guys just had a solo. It was like dueling saxophones. We're going to do that again. We're going to do that again. David Lee will play again. Tim Smith will play again. Why not? It worked. That's kind of wild, though. I'm a little old for that. But let's keep this in the Tower Power vein. Ben Patterson wrote that. To the TOP, Andrew Wayne on guitar, on tenor, David Lee, on alto, Tim Smith. We'll do something calming. Some years ago, I had a chance to be an adjudicator at the Canadian Jazz Festival, Music Fest Canada. And by far, the group that stole the show was from a university up in Montreal, McGill University. We just had an incredible big band and singer and soloists. The director there now is Christine Jensen. She's a saxophonist, often performs with her sister Ingrid. And they're out of the British Columbia area, but now Christine Jensen is working in Montreal. And she runs the big band there at McGill. And she has her own big band. And again, at the last jazz convention, I came across some of her arrangements. This one is called Seafever. And she says it was when she was away on tour, doing residencies, far from any coastline, I gather, because she said she developed a real homesickness for the coast, and by that, we mean that rugged coast of British Columbia. And that's the mood she tried to bring into this piece when she created this very pretty tone poem, which features on saxophone, on Barry sax, Eric Viator, and to help me out, on tenor sax, we haven't yet heard from Alex Pipkin, and guitar again, Andrew Wayne. Thank you, otherwise I gotta go to my script. No, only so much short-term memory. So part of the reason the director's talk is blood getting back to lips. Right? Is it back? Because the masks, they keep the germs out, and they keep the blood from coming back. Well, all right, well at least we got a kind of a quiet start on this one. So folks, we're going to play Seafever by Christine Jensen. Thank you. Seafever by Christine Jensen. So, in this day and age, we can get immediate feedback. From New Orleans, Kris says, band sounds great, good mix. Solos could maybe be a bit louder, but that was a loud song in general. We'll have to figure out which one he's talking about. I have no idea. One more message. Your voice needs to be louder. Okay, Kris, I hope that does it. Try bringing the mic closer or quit mumbling. Okay. See, from one of our faculty members, mic's a little low. Well, that's 2 for that. They want me to shout, unlike in rehearsal. Try holding it closer, maybe. Well, I mean, it's really loud on stage. So I guess you can turn me down a little bit and I'll talk louder. Now here's one from Lafayette. People on YouTube, hey, we know it's working. Complaining, how dare you, it's free, of low volume. Turn it up. I don't know what we're turning up, but turn something up. Okay, and that's the feedback. What's next? Wide open spaces? Oh, good. One of my favorite writers. Somebody was asking me the other day, who's your favorite big band writer? And one of them is definitely Bob Florence. I really could only bring it to a top 10. But he absolutely wrote my favorite big band arrangement. And we're not going to play that tonight. That one's called Emily. We'll maybe do that next time. You all have to play clarinets and contras and basses. We're going to do a piece off of his Concerts by the Sea album, one of the early Bob Florence albums. This one features Jacob Rhymes on piano, and who else is in on this one? Wide open. Oh, yeah, we're featuring quite a lot of trombone on this one from Ethan Lanier. We've got holding down on either end, the Destrehan duo over there, Ethan and David on both sides. They can't even see each other from this distance, let alone hear each other, but that's why they put me in the middle. So, Bob Florence, Wide Open Spaces. Thanks, everyone. All 11 of you, thank you. And to you who are doing your lighters or your candles or your finger snaps or whatever at home. And we hope this will all be saved, and then we can go back and look at it and see how it turned out and learn from it and decide how we do things going forward. As I say, it's an experiment for us, but we couldn't have pulled it off at all without the help from our friends at the campus radio station, KRVS, radio voice of Southwestern, and Carl Fontenot and Kris Wotipka, thank you, and the hall staff, and Ken Harrelson for helping us figure out how we could get out here safely. We had to pretty much put the shell away so that we have as much ventilation as possible. And I mentioned some of these other protocols that we're doing. It's really not easy to make a big sound when you got a bell cover on. And we've had to completely forego mutes, which we regret takes away a lot of the colors that we might have had from the brass section, but at least we're playing. And at least we got to do that thing from, this concert was long overdue, November 13th. Tuesday, new music. Some of these things have been in our folders for a long time now, but I'm glad we got to play it. We've even got a student teacher back, just one in this group, right, who is taking a little bit of time off from his assignment so that he could finish the project that we started oh so long ago. And if this worked out well, watch in about a week. You can see a lot of these people. The majority of these people are also in the University Wind Ensemble, and we taped last Wednesday. We did 11 fairly short numbers, and that puts together a concert, and we just have to splice that all together. We're going to put that out probably sometime next week. So we're closing in on the end here. We got two more. This one is it's by Chris Berg. We heard his arrangement of Blue Rondo earlier. This is his composition. This time last year, how prophetic. What were we doing this time last year? I think we just first heard about COVID about a week ago and a year ago. And then it came, I think it was March 13 that we were sent home and we went online. And we were trying to figure out how we can finish up the semester. We even put together commencement music by Zooming. We did lessons by Zoom. We did classes by Zoom. We're finding ways to do it in person and keep it safe. And we hope we can keep doing it. And then hopefully in April, we can do an outdoor concert with this group and invite an audience to join. And the same thing for the Wind Ensemble. So keep watching our websites. If we're not allowed to have a live audience, I guess we'll be back in here and trying this again. But one way or another, we're going to try to keep playing and hope that this all comes to a stop next year. But this is a piece called This Time Last Year. So I think we're hearing from Eric Viator on Barry sax and David Crochet on the drums. And I forgot to mention all the soloists on that last tune. So we started with, on the last tune, David Lee on tenor, and then we came over to Jacob Rhymes on piano, and then we went to Ethan Lanier on trombone, and Andrew Wayne on guitar, and Evan Caesar, who's off stage getting a cool drink of water. I hope it's only water. There he is bowing for his drum solo on that tune from the Wings. But this time, we get to hear another drum solo from David Crochet, This Time Last Year. this year by Kris Berg. Jacob Rhymes on the piano. Eric Viator on Barry sax, and David Crochet played drums. Why don't you play some vibes on this next one? We brought the vibes, we may as well use them for something. And there they are. And we're going to use it on our final tune. We'll try to get some speed up on this one. I was listening to some of the old recordings of it, and oh my God, this gets played so fast sometimes. We'll do our best to keep up. But not easy to keep up with Chick Corea. That man can play. We were so lucky to have him here in Lafayette a few years ago, and I got to spend some time with him when he was playing at the Acadiana Center for the Arts. My God, he's had a career. This piece kind of has its origins. Do you know how many years back? It's 50 years ago that he formed Return for Forever in 71. I hadn't even started college yet. And that means it's a long time ago. This came out on an album, I think on their third album, Return for Forever. And everybody's been playing Chick's music in the big band, things like Spain and La Fiesta. And this one's right up there in the top 5. This one's called Senor Mouse. This Mouse, whoever he was some character, because we go through all sorts of scenes here, different Spanish scenes, including, apparently, he ends up in a bull ring at one point. It's a great arrangement that Mike Tomaro did. Even though it's a 50-year-old fusion tune, this arrangement's only a little more than 10 years old, so it puts a fresh look on it. We want to thank you folks for being here to be our designated clappers, and for being there in the audience, safely masked and distanced. I want to thank the band for agreeing to redo a show that really should have been put on 2 months ago, and like I promised, new music next week. We want to thank you folks for joining us, and we all get to go home and see if it's saved. We are going to try to save it, right? We got it saved, so we'll get to see it one way or another and see how we did. We'll close with Senor Mouse by Chick Corea. Let's see, who are the soloists on this one? I know Andrew Wayne's going to do some solo work, and we're going to hear vibes work from David Crochet. And I think that takes care of the business. Thanks again for listening. Thanks for watching. Here's Senor Mouse. Ensemble, everybody.